right, so we are going to kind of tell you why people utilize ropes in the gym.
Yeah, so ropes are mostly for like an endurance aspect of training. It's definitely different than like a strength training exercise. So
you'll notice that ropes are more cardio, is what you're saying.
It's definitely, it'll get your heart rate up higher. It's more of an aerobic exercise, not anaerobic. So anaerobic is more, again, strength oriented. Aerobic is more kind of cardio related.
Yeah, so I tell my clients a lot of times, this is kind of like upper body cardio. So it's one way that you can utilize a piece of equipment to get your heart rate up that's mostly upper body.
Yeah, doing these improperly can put a lot of shear force on the shoulders. So you want to make sure that you pack the shoulders and bring the shoulders back and kind of work with more like the back than just the arms.
Yeah, great disclaimer. If you have shoulder injuries, be very careful with these exercises we're going to show you. We're going to keep it basic. We're just going to show you 4. If you want to access more exercises, we will have them on our page and in our exercise library, so you can see more from there. But we're going to show you the basic 4 that we utilize with our clients. You want to start?
Yeah, so when you set up for this exercise, you want to basically grab both ropes. You want to make sure that when they're anchored securely, and also that the rope is pulled all the way taut.
Yeah, so we're looking to get both of these even. In our setup right here, it's not the best setup because we're not in a gym, but it is working. We have everything even, and it's secured on the other end. So the first exercise that I utilize consistently, it's really easy to teach. It's just an alternating arm movement. So you're just going to go here, and you can see when you look at the ropes that it's just kind of undulating down. Good word, right? Undulating?
Yeah, so you can see the frequency in the ropes here. It's staying nice and smooth and nice and consistent. He's not all over the place. He's actually at the pretty similar height on both ropes there. So the rope is moving smoothly and continuous.
Another big cue point too, you can see I get in almost like a slightly bent position, almost like I'm going into a squat. I see a lot of people do too much of this straight. It's not good for your back if you have a lot of resistance and you're completely straight. So you want to make sure you're bending into it almost in a squat position.
Yeah, you want to anchor in the knees and the ankles. You can see that Parker's slightly bending both his knees and ankles, his hips as well. He's keeping his vision straight so that he can keep his back nice and straight up and down also.
And then the other common mistake I see, hopefully you can see me on the camera here, is too much tension. So we have too much tension. See, it's really hard now to get that nice undulation.
Yeah, the rope around here, it kind of wants to flop down and it doesn't want to travel smoothly and quietly.
It's jerky. It's not as cool or as fluid as the other one. So let's show them the other one here. So this is going to be both together. Again, you want to get nice undulation. It is, so you can tell, see it's getting me out of breath. Chuck, calm down, calm down. So he's pulling the anchor point because we don't have a solid one here, but you can see you got a nice undulation. He's moving both arms together. This tends to be a little bit harder because you're working both arms at the same time. It requires more energy, as you can see.
As you can see, I'm kind of using a lot more arms in this, and you can move kind of the body a little bit more and get the legs involved too.
Yeah, so this is one that I will utilize with a pop squat sometimes. You'll have to see a video for that one, but you can add lower body movements to this pretty well.
Another thing that we haven't really added to it is you can go really fast.
Yep.
And you can change the intensity of the exercise.
So if you're looking, you're seeing the tempo difference here when you're going faster. That's going to also up the aerobic potential there. Okay. So then the third exercise we're going to show you is more of a lateral movement. So like band pull-aparts or rear delt flies, this is working more the outside of the shoulder. I'll let Chuck talk about this demonstration.
So again, this is a different movement pattern. So you can see he's actually kind of wobbling his arms in this fashion here. It's making the rope go sideways. And again, you can see the frequency is about the same.
Now this does take a little bit of skill. It's harder to teach clients this. So if you're a trainer, this one is one that is very difficult to get your clients to do because it does take some fluidity. So you can see that I'm kind of flowing with this. Okay, last one. Side to side. So we're going to get some rotational aspect to this. Working in the transverse plane, right, Chuck?
Yep.
Chuck's
so
favorite.
All different planes of motion. This one, you have to make sure that it definitely has a good anchor point. You're kind of traveling in almost like a rainbow fashion.
Yeah.
From the left to the right.
So you can see here, he's activating his core, his obliques. The prime mover still is the upper body, the arms, shoulders, but he's getting a lot of the core involved here.
Yeah, this also gets a lot of the lats.
Yeah,
a little
lats.
More so than the shoulders, I feel like.
All right, good there. So again, we have more exercise tutorials that will show you how to go through each one of these with the proper cueing. But we wanted to explain like how we utilize this with our clients and just show you a couple of examples.
Yeah, and the good thing is, if you notice and you go back to some of these videos, you can kind of see the difference between Parker's body position and the fact that he's a little bit taller anatomically than I am.
Look at this.
And his wingspan is a lot different. So
Yeah.
this is going to look a lot different for both of our body types. But I'm about 5'6". Parker, you're how tall?
6 foot even.
So, I mean, it gives you a point of reference as to what it's going to look like on a taller individual.
Yeah, and you'll find too the ropes in this, especially these smaller ones, are a lot better if you have any injury. They're easier on your body. It's not a lot of resistance. It's a good thing to kind of build some strength.
Well, that's a good point too. The thickness of the rope is going to change also the intensity of the exercise.
And the length too. So this is actually a 50-foot version, so it's 25 on each side. A lot of them are in the 10, 15 feet. So it would be easier to do 10 to 15 feet because it's less mass throughout the whole thing.
Yeah, and a bigger rope is going to train grip strength a little bit more too. So there's just a lot of different variabilities that can be changed in this exercise to either intensify it or reduce the amount of intensity.
So the last thing is who should utilize this? I think if you're an OCR person, if you're doing obstacle course racing, triathlons, really anybody could utilize it, but that is probably what it's more specific for, grip strength and then developing that kind of fast twitch, but also endurance.
I'd say most sports that involve the upper body whatsoever, you know, if you have to be in an anchor position, even wrestlers and stuff of that nature, anybody that's using their arms at an extended time frame, they're the ones that can benefit from this exercise.
Yeah, so if you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the comments below. Please like, share, subscribe, and support us and our podcast.
Yeah, hey, thanks for listening, and we'll see you on the flip side.
And watching.